continue working on the out-of-game UI. We made some real good progress on unit customization, but today I'm working on the actual unlock UI. So the game will be roughly $12, $13 retail, and then there still has to be a progression system in the game. If I start you off with all the abilities, all the units, all the races, it's going to be overwhelming. It makes sense to do a progression system because that helps players learn and it gives a sense of achievement, and of course it keeps players playing, which is of course good for the state of the game. One sec. Okay, so I've got this UI here. So we've got a race unlock manager. Let's see. We don't really need multiple instances of this. So we'll put the race unlock manager here. And then we've got an unlock card loader, so let's link those two together. Let's go ahead and close all of these, and then we'll just open the ones that we're working with today. That one, that one, that one, unit, the unlock card, and this one. So let's get a reference to serialized field, unlock card loader. There we go. So this is a system very similar to the unit card. I'm going to be borrowing and referencing a lot of code from that system already. So I'm really just kind of doing the same thing, just slightly different. So let's see here. You know what? I don't think this is the race unlock manager. I think this is the unlock. Where is it? UI. The unlock UI, yeah. So let's rename that. There we go. And then we can move that up a little bit. It's going to need a reference to text. Oops, I need using Media Engine UI, text, race text, okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this, copy, paste, we'll remove it here. Now we can pass in our text and our unlock card loader. Now we want to listen to some events, client events, instance, client UI mode changed. So we're going to listen to that so that we can turn our UI on and off. And then we need a reference to the canvas group fader. So if mode is unlock, canvas group fader is active, true, else canvas group fader is active. So that'll turn our interface on and off. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and, well, we know that's gonna work, we don't really need to test that. We need to listen to client events instance account updated. We are going to need that. Okay, the unlock card loader. Let's take a look at our unit card loader. And let's see how we do it there. So we've got a lot of settings. Okay. This, I think we can pull this out because we're going to need that. So let's go to our unit database. Where are you? We've got a bunch of static references. So this is going to be a public static list unit types with cards. There we go. And we can fix our reference here. Unit database dot unit types with cards. Okay. And then we can use that same list for the other one. So let's see here, we've got create all cards, okay. Create unit card. So we've got a reference to the card prefab. Okay, so we want that as well. So let's do something like this. Unlock card prefab. I see. So we're going to need a reference here. Public game object unlock card prefab. Public game object unlock ability card prefab. Put those together. Now I know that we're setting this here somewhere. Oh, we're just serializing it. Okay, that's fine. No problem, no problem. Unlock card prefab. Why am I doing it this way? This seems so convoluted. Why am I doing it this way? I can just reference this. Yeah, that's really weird. Oops. Game object, card prefab. There we go. We do want a list of list unlock card. Okay. Void load all unlock cards. And how do we do that? Just loop through. Yeah, for each unit type in unit database dot unit types with cards, void create unlock card for unit type, unit type, unit type. Okay, create unlock unit type. Okay, so unit database instance unlock. Oops. Crap. What is it? Resource manager. Unlock card prefab. Okay. Let's name it. Oh, I misspelled this. That's why that's coming up wrong. Okay. Grab the component. Oops. Unlock card. New object. Hit component. Unlock card. Unlock card. Stop add. Unlock card. Okay. Okay, so now we need public void initialize. So right now, how do we get the image of the unit onto the card? Well, our unit card itself has, okay, let me pull this up, unit card. So we have this huge list of serialized sprites for every single one of these, and you know, not the best way to do it. Definitely not the best way to do it. Well, the good thing is, there may be a better way to do this. The unit itself could have a reference to its unit card image. Then we can just talk to the resource manager. Where are you? The resource manager has a list of all unit prefabs. So I think that might be the way to go. Let's do a helper function here, public void, a public game object no, public unit get unit prefab for unit type, return unit prefabs dot first or, oops, let's use link. First or default x such that x dot unit type. Okay, that looks good. So the unit card loader, let's go to our unit script, and we're going to do primary properties, UI settings, public sprite, unit card sprite. Yes, that's good. Okay, so let's go back to, and I know we're gonna have to plug all these in, that's fine, that's just work we have to do, and then we'll probably go ahead and clean up the unit card script, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Unit database, we don't need that. Unit card loader, unlock, here we go. We want to initialize this. How do we want to initialize this? I mean, we could have the unlock card loader do most of the logic, or we could put it down into the unlock card. I think since this is, well, the unlock card loader, it loads things, right? So, I mean, yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Public unit type, initialize unit type. So all we set is this, and then these cards aren't ever going to get destroyed even if the player goes in and out of games, so I think it's pretty safe to listen to some client events. Client events, account updated, okay. Alright. So when the account is updated, you know, we don't need this because this is public property. We can just set that here. Unlock card dot unit type. There we go. So we just set the unit type at the start. Then the unlock card itself will listen to the events. When the account is updated, it'll do the following. So, let's see. Race equals unit database get race for unit type. If account dot has race if it doesn't, so if not account, so if we don't have the race, we obviously have to set the block image. Is active and enabled is active. That's deprecated, isn't it? No. Okay, whatever. False, else, if account.has unit type, So if not, else So if we don't have this unit type lock image enabled, nope, that should be true. Else lock image enabled false. Okay. All right. We can go ahead and load all unlock cards at the start, I think. Because this is a singleton, so that should be fine. Okay, so let me think. Okay, so we're going to create all of the unlocked cards. Okay. Now we're also okay. Let's do serialize field bool load all cards at start, and then we'll make this conditional. If load all cards at start, okay. Okay. Then we've got our unlock UI. So our unlock card loader will load all of those cards, and then okay, instantiates them as children of that transform. All right, let's just see how that goes. Let's just see what happens, and we'll go from there. Okay, so our resource manager, client resources, client UI, resource manager. Okay, this needs a reference to some prefabs. We've got them here. So we've got an unlock card, and we've got unlock ability card. So we'll save that. So, okay, we need to turn off some UI stuff. The player portrait, let's turn that off. The lobby navigation, let's turn that off, and we'll turn off our unlock UI, and let's see what happens. Shrink this window. What happened here? Where's this coming from? Oh man, we still have this code. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. We don't need this at all. We do need this, that's important. Let's move this up, and here, we can just set that. And then we can replace this and this. we're not going to save. This is something is not set here. Oh, we forgot to set the canvas group fader. Okay. So let's set that. It's right here. Let's go ahead and save this. Clear the log and save the scene, and let's get back in there. Okay, now we can log in. So we log in, and let's go to our, I believe this is it. Yeah, okay. So the unlock card loader, it did nothing because we did not have load all cards at start enabled. Let's fix that. Just gonna put this back over here. Okay, so that loaded all of those. Okay, so that loaded all of those. That's very good. Let's go ahead and log in, and we'll go to our unlock UI. Okay, so there we have one for every type of unit. That's good. Okay. Okay. All right, I want to change the name for this. It's a bit long. Don't need that anymore. Unlock card, okay. And we don't have any kind of grid layout or anything. Every one of these looks the same because we're not actually pulling in the image yet, which is fine. So let's take a look and see how we could do that. We probably want a grid layout group. Okay, that really fucked with things. Let's get some padding. It looks like all of our content has been resized. Let's go ahead and make it tall again. Okay, I want a fixed column count. Let's do, okay, so let's go ahead and disable everything but the humans. That's more realistic. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's do 7. Okay. So we've got middle center? No. Upper center? Okay. Not sure I like the way that this looks. Let's try a horizontal layout group. So let's not control the width or the height. Let's just middle center. Okay, so this needs some fixing. We do need some padding. So if we scale this down, oops, scale this in. let's see, this is an unlocked card. Okay, so our original width is 137. And the original height is 689. Okay. So that evenly spaces them out for us, which is good. So if we, disable one of these, it will automatically, adjust for us. So if we turn off child force expand width and height, that helps as well. So I think that's what we'll go with. So let's copy this component. Let's go ahead and paste that in here. And let's see if that's any better. So you can see that it's loaded them all the way off to the side. So if we go here, yeah, that's exactly what I expected. Which is not a problem, really. It is interesting that they go from left to right. You would think with middle center, you would expect to see them going off this way. That does seem a bit strange, but whatever. Okay, so we've got that working. Now, let's do, okay, so we need to, let's do void update so let's see, update, or, well, no, update's fine. Update, image and cost. Okay, so we're going to grab the image. So we're going to do their unit prefab equals resource manager dot instance dot get unit prefab for unit type. We pass in our own unit type. If unit prefab, I'm not going to do a null check. If we have a null, we should know it, and we'll fix that. So this is returning an actual unit. So let's do unit image dot sprite is equal to unit prefab dot sprite unit card sprite. There we go. And then let's go. Where is the unit database? Okay. We've got get unit unlock cost, which is really outdated the way that this is working, but whatever. Unlock cost text equals unit database dot get unlock cost. We pass in our unit type there, and then we just toString that. Now I know I haven't actually set any of these. But we'll do it for a couple of them and see how this works. So we'll go to the Blade Fiend, and then we'll go to unit cards, and we'll go ahead and, let's see, pass that in there. Oh man, this is going to take a ton of work. So we'll do the chaos imp as well. Alright, chaos imp. There we go. And let's see if that works for the first two, or if we get some kind of null reference error or something. Okay. So let's see here. No errors. So let's go down to the Blade Fiend. And if we look at the unlock cost, we get 10, and then the unit image has the image. So it looks like those at least worked. So we can see here that those two worked, and we've got unlock costs for everything else. Okay, so that's a good way for us to do that. That's decent. I do have to set all of those, so might as well get on that. Fire Elemental. There's got to be a faster way to do this. There's nothing like repetitive work to make you think of a really good way to do a lot of stuff fast. Let's see here. Hellcaster. Sprite. Oh, I wish I could just keep two of these folders open. Window, project, yeah, it doesn't let you open a second. Oh, does it? Wait a second, does it? It does. Look at that. Okay. So we can get this done a little bit faster. Hey, look at that. Isn't that nice? Let's make this large. Okay, so this will be our textures and unit cards, and then this one will be our actual units. Okay, so we left off on the magma elemental. Oh no, it changed both. Well, what if I lock this? Nope. Search by label, search by type. Oh, that sucks. Alright, let's try something else. Let's try this. Okay, so we've got magma elemental. Let's choose sprite. Demon magma elemental. Okay. Maybe I can just type the name. Oh, nice. Okay, that worked. So I'm just using the search function to get to that sprite faster. This is better. Still a lot of work, but it could be worse. Okay. It's funny, this seems so obvious to do it this way, but I always didn't know what would be the right way to access prefabs from the UI and stuff, but with the resource manager, everything's changed. So many things that I've learned, so many things I'm going to do differently next time around. we're about halfway, so that's making good time. Some of these aren't named exactly right, but good enough. Let's see. Don't need that one. We need this one. Archer. Orc Assassin. Oh, we still had it listed as the Skirmisher. Cyclops. We've got Orcon. Ravager. Orc Shaman. Warhawk. Monger. Orc Warrior. Don't need ones for those. Crypt Guard. Ghoul. Lich King. Undead Mage. The Necro Titan. Oh, what did I just do? Necro Titan. Undead Warrior. Undead Wraith Knight, and that should be it. So I'm going to move this back over here. Let's save. That's going to save all of those prefabs. Now let's see if we got all of them. If we have any images that are white, we missed something. So I can just turn this on. And it looks like we have one that's white. So the Ghoul, I guess, did not get set. The Ghoul and what is this? The Hellspawn. Okay, so let's go back and fix those. Ghoul. And what was it? The Hellspawn? Have it as this, I think. Okay, let's try that again. And let's check to make sure everything loaded correctly. Okay, so we've got all of our unit cards there. Very nice. It does look like our problem with this is that, you know, because unit cards are actually rectangular and not square, and because these are square, we're getting this problem where we're zooming in, and for some of the creatures, it's just cutting off their head. So I'm wondering, let's see, where is the Necro Titan here? For this one example, can we move that down? If we had it anchored at the top, would that be better? You know, if we did that for all of these. Why does the Ultra Shield look so freaking fat? But yeah, even if we just moved him down, that would look better. Let's leave that for now. Let's try and get the actual main code working the way that we want it to. So Uh, okay, so let's switch off of the. We won't need this. This. Okay, so let's see. On account updated. The unlock UI, do we need that? I mean, the unlock card loader, yeah, it's not listening to any events, but I mean, there's really no reason that we can't. So, I mean, we're only going to ever have one unlock card loader, so we might as well listen to that event and just do it there rather than listen to it in the parent and cascade it down to the child. On account updated. Okay, so we also want to listen to client events instance selected race change. Okay, so void set active race, set active race, and then we gotta do that at the start here too. Set active race, client.instance.selected race. So that means that for each their unlock card and unlock cards, if unit database dot get race for unit type, unit unlock card dot unit type, if that equals the race that we currently have, unlock card dot enabled is true. Come on. Else unlock card enabled is false. Okay. That's a step forward. Now we still need a lock icon for the race itself. So we'll work on that next-ish. So let's go ahead and sign in. We'll switch over to our UI, and it looks like that did not work. Why did that not work? Okay, so set active race. I mean, our enabled race on the client doesn't show it here. Maybe here. Yeah, currently selected race is human. So when start happens, we listen to events, we initialize all of our cards, we set the active race, which loops through all of our unlock cards, which we have a list of. there it is. I think we can do public race up here. And then we can switch off that, and then unlock card, excuse me, race unit database.get race for unit type, there we go. So if, let's clean this up a little bit. If the race is equal to the race, okay. True and false. All of that looks good to me. Let's try this again and see if we can figure out why this is happening. Because what should happen is that the human cards are enabled and everything else is disabled. Okay, so let's see. Switch out of debug mode. So we're still not getting all the races are being set correctly. Let's debug this. Debug.log, setting active race. Debug.log, unlock card, race. There we go. That'll give us some insight on what's going on. Okay. So, okay, setting active race human. Human, undead human. Okay, so oh, are we turning the, yeah, we're turning the script off. I see. So this should be unlock card dot game object. And then this isn't enabled, this is active in hierarchy, that's the new one, yeah. This is just get is active, no. Set active, I see, we're doing set active now. Okay, let's try that one again, and that should fix it. I think that'll work. There we go. So as you can see, we've got, only the cards that we care about enabled, so that's good. So when we switch here, we only get the humans, which is pretty much what we want. Let's see. And we can see that we've got some lock icons here now. I know with the unit customization UI, when we have something locked, we've got an image over it shadowing that out. Let's copy that So let's see, we don't have the champion unlocked. Image mask, unit unlock shadow. So let's copy this image and we're going to go to our UI prefab unlock card. Okay, and we're going to add an image here. UI image inside of here. Scale this to the full size. And let's go ahead and paste those values there. We want this right there. Okay, so this is the unit locked shadow image. And we need to edit this script to incorporate that as well. So we've got serialized field image locked shadow image. Okay. Let's go ahead and apply that to our prefab. There we go. Now we need to add that to the script. So I'm seeing some redundant code here. Set locked true, set locked true, set locked false. Why did I put that in parentheses? Okay. All right, that is much cleaner. Now we can do locked shadow image enabled true, locked shadow image enabled false. Let's clean up these brackets. Nice clean code. Now we should be able to have those shadows, making it clearer that the unit type is locked because you haven't unlocked it yet. So let's load this up. God, I can't believe it's 2:40 already. Okay, there we go. So we can see that we don't have these ones unlocked yet, and they are showing you know, the shadow showing them, you know, locked. Let's take a look at this. Oops, this is the wrong UI. Let's take a look at the Guardian Golem for a second. I kind of want to make this pop a little bit. Let's do UI. Game object UI. I want to add some kind of like glow to the outside or something to make it clear. You know, because like this is just blending into the background right now. It's not very good, and we can't just use an outline. That doesn't really work. Game object UI image. And we're going to fill the space with this and have it match. Then we're going to make that a child of this and scale this down. Let's put our anchors in the center and center that. So now we've got an image that we can work with. I know this is a little ugly right now, but it'll look better, I promise. So here we are in Photoshop, and let's do image canvas size, pixels 100, 500, give us lots and lots of space. Then we're going to fill this with black. I'm going to select the outside of this, invert the selection to select the inside, delete that, and we're going to fill this with red for now. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. You don't even have straight lines. So clean that up. Okay. Now let's do an outer glow. My color. Let's see. Let's go with something like this. I want this size to be a good bit bigger. Now we've got softer or precise. I think softer is going to be the way to go. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to rasterize this. Then I'll select the red, cut that out, and that leaves us with a unlock card background glow. Okay. Then we need to go to our textures, change this to a sprite, and let's go ahead and plug that in. So we can see we've got somewhat of a glow here around the outside. Not bad, not bad. If we shrink this down, we can see, there we go, a little bit less. There's our glow. Now it's not very bright. Now let's go ahead and scale. It doesn't scale very well, does it? We've already got the image at the full size. What if we went here, image, trim, transparent pixels? That would spread that glow out. There we go. Now we can scale this up. There we go. So now we've got our glow. Now we can play with how strong that glow is. And I think there's something we want to do here. Image card background. If we add an outline to this, interesting, yeah. Oh, it fucks with the mask, that's why. Not the unlock card background. I want the unlock card overlay. And then what I want to do is image canvas size pixels 373. giving us 2 pixels on each side. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to add black, and then I'm going to select the inside of this and clean that up so that we get a black border around the outside. I think we need to clean that up a little bit more. There we go. So we've got a bit of a black border there. I'm not sure if that's that much better. I don't know. I'm just not super happy with this. It looks good zoomed in, but then you zoom out and there's just something about it. It doesn't pop really. Maybe we should go fancier with our unlocked card and just make it a heavier UI element. Maybe that's the way to go. So here's our image. Let's see what we can work with. RTS, assets, Burnblade UI. Well, let's take a look at our folder here. And we've got this wonderful piece of artwork here. Maybe we can use something like that. I could see this, just this part right here working. Do I have anything for the top? So we've got our login frame at the top here. All right, it's time for some Photoshop, kids. Okay, what are we doing here? Image, canvas size, pixels. We're going to increase our height a bunch. Let's get rid of that background. We're not going to need that. Now, how large is this? Image, canvas size, pixels, 342. So let's see how. Oh, come on. Work on this layer. Okay. So if we look at our, the width of this bevel here, we look pretty good. Yeah, this might open up some options for us if we do it this way. Okay. What do we want to do here? Don't need that. What happened to my music? It ended. Let's do this. Okay. This top section here, this might be a great place to use our, to put our cost for unlocking. Let's go ahead and move this down. And then we'll take this. It looks like we're almost wide enough. So let's go ahead and free transform it. And we're just going to stretch this a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Move it down a little bit. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's going to change things quite a bit. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking I was wasting, time and code working on a custom implementation when I could just use the unit card, which I already have made. But for this, I think this is the right approach. Yeah, I think this is the right approach. Okay, let's keep working on this. Canvas size, pixels, height. Let's go to 750. Let's move this stuff up. There we go. Now let's grab this. Oops. Can I copy? There we go. I'm going to move this down here. And once again, we're going to have to stretch this to the left and to the right. Looks like just a little bit more on the right side. That looks good. Let's go ahead and move that up. And there we go. Okay, that's not bad. Let's give ourselves a little bit more canvas size. Let's do width 450. Let's go ahead and just merge all of this together. Okay, now I think what we're going to have to do here, let's see, we can cut this here, good. Then we'll cut across here. Ooh, that's a misclick. Ah, come on. Oh, come on, come on. Ah, son of a bitch. Alright, we're gonna redo that. So we'll cut that out. I'm trying to do as much of this with the straight line tool as I can. There we go. Let's give ourselves a background here so we can work on something that's not a checkered pattern. Just walk this along here, and cut all that out. Do the same thing on the other side. It's kind of hard to see. I think we got it. Okay, that's the top cleaned up, and we've got some rough edges there. We'll work on those. Now this bottom part, I know we can delete some of this, and then we can just move this up. Okay. We'll try to do this one in one cut. Now let's go ahead and center this. There we go. Get rid of our background. We're going to do an image trim, transparent pixels. Save that. Now I know it's going to look kind of awful, but that's all right. We need, where is our gradient background? Okay, so let's grab the top color, flip, grab the bottom color. Did I just mess that up? No, we're good. Now we're going to grab this layer and we're going to do a gradient. Let's go ahead and invert that from here to here. Okay. Now let's select the inside of this, and then we're going to do select, modify, expand, 3 pixels, select inverse, and delete. So now we've got the inside of our frame. Yeah. Now this is actually going to become its own, I'm going to call this fancy background. I feel like my music's a bit loud here. Okay. I'm going to call this well, we've got the overlay, that's fine. Okay, I think we can unpause this and we can start messing with our prefab again. So let's go to our unlock card. Now I know already that I want to do a outer glow on this, so we're going to do canvas size, pixels, width, excuse me, 450, 750, something like that. Now I'm going to use this as the layer that I do the glow on, so let's give ourselves a black background layer. Then we'll go here to our gradient layer. We'll do an outer glow. And the color I want is something like that. Let's go ahead and spread that out. Okay. It's a bit big. And then I know I want a stroke on the outside of this, but really, I really only want it on the outside. We'll work on that in a minute. You know what? I didn't need to clear out the inside of that. What am I doing? Okay, well, let's fix that. We want a square. Let's go ahead and fill that. We're going to center this. What was the fill color? It was this. Okay, so we're going to select the inside here. And we're going to fill that. There we go. Okay, I got lost here, you know. Then we take this and we cut that out of this. There we go. And then this should really be our true gradient. So let's get that gradient again. Let's do that backwards. There we go. And let's try turn that on and this on in our background. Okay, that's better. We obviously need another frame here. Let's see. Can we just do a stroke on this? No, it's kind of cheap and lazy. How do we want to do this? I think we're going to copy this here. And we're going to put that cut the top off that. Let's get this down to a reasonable size. Let's go to clear. That's too much. Let's do 5 pixels. There we go. Let's make this a little bit thicker. So let's free transform, scale. Ooh, that's a bit too big. Let's scale this up a little bit. There we go. And then we'll fade this out again at the edge. That's better. Okay. Now let's align this at the top. Select the inverse, free transform, and we're just going to drag this all the way down. It's so hard to see. Let's get rid of, I can't turn my layers on and off. Okay. I think it's here. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's duplicate layer. Free transform, flip, horizontal, there we go. Now we'll merge those layers together. We'll duplicate that layer again. Free transform, rotate 90 degrees. Now we'll line this up with the top here. And we've got some manual work to do on the edges, but other than that, it's not too bad. Looks like, yeah, here, let's go ahead and stretch this out 1 more pixel, good. And then down here, I think we need to raise and lower. No, that looks about right. Correct width, yeah. Now we should be able to, yeah, just trim that away. And we've got a nice smooth bevel. Oh man, that's beautiful. Well, not exactly beautiful, but it looks nice. Come on, there we go. And now we've got a frame, so that's good. Let's merge these 2 layers. Image, adjustment, brightness and contrast. Let's make that contrast a bit more and bring the brightness down. There we go. So that way it doesn't pop quite as much. Okay, we'll save that. Let's go ahead and fix this here. So we're going to grab our smudge tool and we're going to just, am I on the right layer? No. Just going to kind of smudge this together until it looks nice and natural. Same thing on the other side. Okay. That looks all right. Now we got to do the same thing at the top. Now this one looks a little bit simpler, so we'll increase our size here. Oops. Let's do 10, yeah. And we'll start here and just pull up. Do the same thing on the other side. Left align, pull up, and fixed. Okay, so now we obviously need to change. Okay, so we've got the image background. Let's go ahead and turn that off for a sec. We won't need the fill. We don't need, oh, that's our glow. We don't need that. We don't need the black. Okay. Now, the image background, no, we need image foreground. Let's preserve the aspect ratio and come on. Let's resize you, okay. And we pull this down until we get it to fit. We have to leave a little bit of room for that glow, so you gotta keep that in mind. What's weird is that we don't seem to have any space at the top here. We've been working in the fancy background file. That's probably why. So, okay. All right, we'll save this as unlock card overlay. Let's just call this fancy overlay. We'll make that a sprite. And make this a sprite. There we go. Okay. Where was I? Foreground. So we need the fancy overlay. Oh, come on. Fancy overlay. Nope, that's not it. That's what we're looking for. So now we've got a little bit of space here at the top. So now we can keep scaling this down, and because we have preserved aspect ratio on, we can find this point where it just starts to stretch, and that's where we want to leave it. Now the background, okay, let's close everything else, make this a little bit simpler to work on. So it's going to turn everything off. We've got a background with a glow, and that fits nicely on our frame. So let's save this as fancy background. So we'll replace that. So let's go to our background, we'll turn that back on, and we'll plug in our fancy background. Now we just need to make that the same as this and hit preserve aspect ratio. What is going on here? Oh, do we have like masking on? Yeah, we do. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's get rid of the, I can't see anything with this on. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Just disable the stuff we're not working on. So there's the background. And the foreground extends quite a bit more. So we're gonna scale this up to here. And then we take this, and we should just be able to match that. There we go. Let's get rid of the text for a second. We've got we've got something with the background still on. Let's see. It's not that. It must be our. Oh, we have the shadow image on. Okay, so we'll turn that off. There we go. There's our glow. Okay, now that glow's pretty obnoxious. I think we can make this in general much bigger. Scale this up, put our anchors in the center, and then we'll move this up. I think we can just match the width and height. Yeah, that seems fine to me. And then we can obviously scale this. So that fits inside that, and our foreground fits inside that. Let's fix those anchors. Let's put these anchors at the top, and then we'll bring the bottom ones down. Okay, now we need the unit image, and that's going to fit in here. Well, actually, we want it to fit. I see. Okay, so what we need is another image. And we'll call this unit image mask. Go ahead and turn this off for a second. And we're going to put that in here. Then we're going to add a mask component. We're not going to show the mask graphic. And then we'll turn our unit image back on. Put this in here. We're going to break the prefab. That's fine. We'll just recreate that. Image is turned on. There we go. Okay. So now if we scale this up like we normally do. Whoa, come on, please don't do this. Come on. Okay. Let's go ahead and fix these. Now we can scale this in. And that's going to be about the ratio that we're at. There we go. So now our masking is working correctly. Now Now let's play with that glow a little bit, because that glow is just horrendous. We can add a stroke to the outside, and then let's take that glow and let's make it a little bit lighter, and maybe increase the spread just a tiny bit, but bring the opacity down. There we go. So now it pops a little bit, but it's not too much. I don't think we're getting that stroke though. So maybe we can increase the size of this stroke. And it's still not really, it's there, but it's being, you know, hidden by that. I think putting the stroke on this is a mistake. So let's open up our fancy overlay, and this can have a stroke of the same color that it already is. That way we fill that gap right there. It doesn't really make a noticeable difference here though. It does look like we made our glow too large. You can see that we have this hard line there. Alright, we'll dial that back a little bit. We had it at like 62-ish. There we go, that's better. Now let's see if we can add a stroke without fucking this all up. Now it looks like I've already got a stroke on this. No, that's the wrong layer. I need this layer. Yeah, so we're getting some artifacts here. So let's clean those up a little bit and see if we can do it that way. Let's get a more precise brush here. Clean this up, one click at a time. A little bit too big there. Okay, let's go up. Okay, let's clean up the left side here. Okay, that's a cleaner stroke. Let's see if we can clean this bottom part up a little bit. All right. Let's see if that looks any better. So now we've got a black line going around the outside. That's nice. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the game scene. Let me full screen this for a sec. It doesn't look quite the way that we want it to. I wonder what we're missing here. if we turn off that glow, let's see how that looks. I would say it's almost a little bit better. And I wonder, let's change this to a white layer, and then let's go here. Instead of doing the outer glow, what if we did a drop shadow going this way? How does that look? Oh, you can't really notice it. Okay. So that's what it's looking like now. What to do? What to do? What if we just played with the strength on that outer glow there? It just kind of blurs the outside. It doesn't really make it look strong or defined. I think another problem is that this is just a little bit too small. I think it just needs to be bigger. So we're going to make this bigger. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think the problem with this is that this gray background here doesn't really work with what we have. Let's see, unit image background. So that's what's handling the background, and that is this. I think we need a different background here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Alright, well, let's put some of our other interface elements back. So this we can put here. Let's just do center, and then we'll make this the same size. Let's go ahead and center this on this. I think we can scale this down a little bit. And I think we can put that in here. There we go. Now we have it directly centered. Now we've got some unlock text. We can take this and move this here. That's much better. And then we'll squish this here and here. That way our text is always going to be in a readable position. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. All right, now we've got the shadow. where is that? That's covering the whole thing. So we want that part of this. And we're going to scale this just to cover up what we want it to cover up. Let's zero this out. And let's move this up so that it doesn't shadow out the lock icon. And then I think we can bring this top, left, right, bottom. Now let's do 1, 1, 1, 1. That way we don't overshadow that border that we have there. So I think now the problem is that this, where are you? This frame here, we're not being able to see that. So let's do image adjustments, brightness, contrast. I'm going to add some brightness back into that. So there we go, that pops a little bit more. The top part still looks a little bit washed out to me. What can we do here? You know, the other problem is that we have this empty space up here. You know, we could always move that unlock button up here, but I don't know, is that a good use of UI space? I don't really know. Ugh. I think we can change this background color as well. Let's put a gradient overlay on this. And the colors that we want are going to be the colors we're already using. So one color is going to be this. The other one is going to be one of our lighter colors from over here. So let's change that. So the red is going to be our darker color. And this is going to be our lighter color. Let's see how that looks. Oh, a little bit better, a little bit better. What if we reverse that gradient? How does that look? I don't know, it's arguably a little bit better. What to do? I kind of want to bring all of this down. Let's see. Let's go ahead and one thing I keep thinking about is the fact that UI space is always precious. So I think that there's a good way we can condense this a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so let's hack this apart a little bit. I'm gonna cut this here. Let's go ahead and actually save this first. And then we're gonna create a new version. I'm not sure about this, so we'll do this, experimentally. Let's go ahead and we're gonna cut here. And then we're gonna cut here. Then we're going to take this, we're going to move this down, and then we're going to take a section of this, I'm going to copy and paste, and we're just going to tile this. It doesn't look quite right. Oof. I wonder if we can take this, free transform. No, it doesn't work. Let's do a layer to help us work with. So we're going to do pencil. Let's do red, and we're going to do a red line to there, and a red line to, this sucks. Let's do brush, one pixel, go from here to here, and from here to here, and just see how crooked that is. Okay, how are we gonna fix this? Let's do another layer, we'll do it underneath the red. So we're gonna go from here to here to here to here. We'll fill it with, this is a shit technique, I don't like this at all. Alright, we're working on this layer, so let's just do some lines. Let's grab this color, and let's go, what is that, about 2 pixels from here to here, okay. Then we'll grab this color, and we'll go from here to here. This color from here to here. And we'll take this, we're going to clean up some of that excess. There we go. So let's take this color across. Let's do 4 pixels. Okay. And we'll take this color here, bring that from here to here. Need to get a little bit closer to that line. There we go. Okay. Clean up this corner a little bit. All right. I think we can clean this up a little bit more. Now we need to redo our line. So we'll do 2 pixels. Here to here. Okay, that's a bit cleaner. But we've definitely lost some of our detail. And we still have all this empty space up here. Let's see here. Let's take this piece right here, and let's see if we can rotate this to be straight. Okay, it's not exactly clean-ish, and I'm thinking we go across. Ugh, this is such a hack job. Let's go ahead and open up the first one again. You know, I think what we really wanted to do, let's go ahead and get rid of this. Let's save this as version 2 again. I'm going to start over on this idea. I think what we really wanted to do is just bring this down. And cut out some of that circle. That's better, I think. Yeah. So, let's see. Can we stretch this a little bit? So we're going to go from here to here. Come on. Free transform. We're going to stretch this an equal-ish amount. Let's doctor this side a little bit. Let's do 5 pixels. Come on. 5 pixels clear. Okay, we want this. Let's do some smudging. 5 pixels. Kind of see how that's supposed to look now. So now we can go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We need to add some color back in. Let's do 3 pixels. Make sure our thickness is consistent. We've got that darker color here. Let's put some of that back in. Good. Let's fix this part here. Okay, we've got that. Let's do opacity 100. Now let's go ahead and clear. Give this a bit more of a defined edge. Good. Now let's add our highlight back in. We're going to do 2 pixels, normal. And we're going to just, that's a bit too much. Let's go 1, and we need a lighter color. Let's go even lighter. Okay, left side doesn't look too bad. I think we need to clean up our curve a little bit. Let's go 5 pixels. I'm going to clear. can smudge this a little bit. Let's do 2 pixels and smudge from here. Okay. And then we can go ahead and make this a little bit straighter. Does it look better? Yeah, okay. Then we'll take this side from here to here. Layer via copy. Let's do free transform, flip horizontal. Okay. Leave that in place. The sides are different. Well, okay. That's fine. Come on. Let's remove the scroll bar. Let's go ahead and clean that up. There's our nice edges. All right, good, good, good. There we go. Now we've shrunk the amount of space that we take up here. That's good. Just realized this down here is kind of faded. All right. Now this is version 2 that we're using. So let's see, unit, image, foreground, fancy overlay, version 2, let's make that a sprite. There we go. That definitely already looks better. Already looks better. Our background needs trimming, but we forgot to turn something back on. Forgot to turn that back on. Okay. But this is going over. There we go. Okay, so let's take this. Nope, where's my layer? These two should be merged. There we go. So we'll take that, select, modify, expand 3 pixels. Then we'll take the inverse and delete. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and fix our background as well. We just don't need that top part. There we go. Looks like my music stopped again. think we have a little bit more work to do down here. So let's save this as version 3. And let's get started on that. I really like this part down here. I'm not sure I like the curved parts here. See if we can cut those out nicely. Then we'll move this up. And I think we can go ahead and stretch this out. It's pretty decent. We obviously have a problem with, so let's select the inside here, select, modify, expand, and then we'll select the inverse here and delete that. Let's see how that looks. We need to make version 3 a sprite and then insert it. So this is the foreground, yes. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Oh, we left our white background on. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this layer, put it in here. Okay. And select inverse, and we'll delete that. There we go. We can just delete the layer we added. There we go. Okay, now we can adjust our text a little bit so that that fits more reasonably into the same space. That looks better. It doesn't take up as much space. That's definitely better. I think our unlock button is still a bit too big. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and enable our shadowed image. You know, the downside to doing it this way is that when you've unlocked the, I mean, what are we going to have this text say, you know? I mean, unlocked? It's kind of boring, isn't it? I mean, we know it's unlocked because it doesn't have the lock icon anymore. So do we just keep this here forever? You know? We could always move this text up here. Move the square down just a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like I've once again wasted a ton of time photoshopping UI stuff. Alright, I think I'm going to take a little break. Stream's been going for 2 hours, 11 minutes. So we'll stop there. I'm going to take a quick break, maybe have second part of lunch, and we'll come back and take another stab at this. Till then.